Welcome back. Buenos dias. Good morning. How we doing? Hope everyone had a nice, profitable day. Appreciate that, Francis, Chef, Ponzi, Dirty Bird Hunter, Dino, Margin. Morning, guys. I think CrowdStrike looks fine. We'll see what happens today. It's got a key level. I'm going to see if it rejects. That's about it. Morning, guys. Welcome back. Yeah, TSM, nice pop this morning. Hopefully we get a gap fill on that one for another entry point there. But besides that, I'll wait a second. It's too early to start talking about stocks. Wait for some more people to jump in. Morning. Morning from Barcelona. Nice. I actually just met someone this weekend from the Canary Islands, which was, I think, a once in a lifetime, possibly. Canary Islands off the coast of Africa, but a Spanish country, Spain. And I don't think I'll ever meet someone from there again. Pretty cool. You guys know anyone from the Canary Islands? Did I see the eclipse? I saw a lot of memes about a Mitsubishi eclipse in the air. I did see that. With the Ludacris song in the background. You're from Spain too? How about the Huskies? I do not watch college basketball. Did they win? I don't watch basketball at all. Wow. Yankees are 9-2. Nice. Huskies won. Yep. What else happened in the sports world? Mets actually won a game. Holy shit. All right. Let's get started. So, today is Tuesday. Day before CPI, the day before FOMC minutes, the day before, 2 days before PPI on Thursday. And yesterday we talked about how we should expect a motionless market, and that is exactly what we got. That was probably one of the tightest ranges on the market in a very long time, actually. That was a complete sideways, like no deviations intraday pretty much at all. So we stayed within the exact levels we talked about here in the live stream the entire trading day. If you took maybe one or two trades and, took a few shots, accepted that the market was pretty dull, and walked away yesterday, you did a fantastic job. That's what a trader should do yesterday. It's normal, okay? It's not something to be upset about. It's not something to be thinking. It's like it's there's no surprise at all. If you're surprised of yesterday's price action, you are not taking into consideration the things that are approaching on the market, right? It's totally normal. It's totally what the market does. It's like every CPI, you come in and you say, oh, I wonder what happened last CPI. The market didn't move. And then when the market doesn't move this time, it's like, why isn't the market moving? Well, it's going to happen, okay? It's how the market works. So market's going to remain balanced here. There's not going to be a big weight on one of the sides. People aren't going to want to take one side too heavily with a lot of indecision approaching on the market. So again, you expect more of the same today. It's what should happen. So There's obviously intraday opportunities. We took some intraday opportunities on TSM. There's always going to be some short-term trading opportunities on the intraday. That is just normal. Also, that Nvidia 892 rejection yesterday, that was a sick downside move. So there's always going to be opportunities, but with the market, when you look at the ES, when you look at the NQ, and you're seeing it trade completely sideways, you have to be a profit taker. Profit taking on quick moves, scalping moves. That's how you have to trade this market until we get a real continuation, which maybe we should see on Wednesday, maybe Thursday, before these economic events. So that's how it is, man. That's how it is, and you have to accept it. If you can't accept it, then you will probably learn the hard way, okay? So let's continue. Here we go. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll get into the economic calendar. We'll get into the levels again. I really probably don't have much too much different for you today because the NASDAQ, ES, everything pretty much stayed the same, but here we go. So today we have a tentative economic optimism report. I don't think this means anything to the market. And the fact that it's tentative tells me that I can't tell you when it is. So I have no idea when that comes out, if it has any effect on the market. Tomorrow, 8:30, is the big event, okay? Big event into CPI, year over year, month over month, core CPI. Guys, before, and I hope if you're in the Discord, okay? If you're in the Discord and you're in this live stream, before you ask me about swing trades today, just know that my answer to every single question today will be, you are swing trading into CPI, okay? That's going to be my answer to every single question that you ask today. So if you're in the Discord or if you reach out to me somewhere and ask about a certain trade, just know that my answer, I'm going to literally copy and paste my answer to every single person today. CPI is tomorrow. You are trading and swing trading into CPI. That's going to be my answer. I have no idea what the market does on this. Zero. I have zero idea. All I can do as a trader is to protect myself. I do not irrationally swing trade into this event. I do not pretend like I know what's going to happen. I do not let my ego tell me that I think I know what's going to happen. I do not try to impress people online because I said that it's going to go higher. I do not try to satisfy my ego trying to think I know what happens on CPI tomorrow morning. Okay? That is not how you trade. You protect yourself into uncertainties, and tomorrow at 8:30 is certainly an uncertainty. So be careful tomorrow at 8:30. That's going to be really the thing that probably moves this market, probably decides which way we go out of this channel. And if you do want to hold something through it, then you better be in a position that does not affect your portfolio. Okay? So that's 8:30. That's tomorrow. Not much after that. You got the 10-year bond auction. Someone will absolutely, Josh. we'll absolutely get a few I told you so's tomorrow, right? Without a doubt. That's a given. That's a given. So FOMC, 10-year bond auction tomorrow at 1 o'clock as well. And then 2 o'clock tomorrow, you got FOMC minutes, right? FOMC minutes, 10-year bond auction, CPI, right? That's your tomorrow. A lot of stuff going on here, and let's be aware of that. Thursday, PPI, unemployment claims, 2 more major events there. 30-year bond auction later in the day at 1 o'clock, and then consumer sentiment on Friday. All right? So that's that. Let's jump into the futures. Let's go to NASDAQ. Let's take a look at what happened yesterday. So yesterday, we stayed within the exact channel that we talked about in the morning. We talked about the NASDAQ staying below the 20 and above the 50. And we traded within that range the entire day. So where are we this morning? In the exact same range. Okay? So I think it's pretty clear here, guys. I don't think it's very difficult to read here. If the market remains between the 50 and the 20 SMA, you are going to see more of this today, okay? You're going to see the exact same thing today. 18.4, 18.230, 20 SMA, 50 SMA. You have a basically, think of this as a road, right? You got your barriers on either side, and the market is going to want to stay between the barriers until there's a reason like CPI or something, or FOMC minutes, or some kind of a catalyst to get us outside of this channel. Okay? So today, I would be watching that 18.4. I'd be watching that 18.230. I'd be watching the 50. I'd be watching the 20. At any point in the future, if we get a break and hold above these levels or a break and hold below these levels, that is where you are going to look for that continuation move. Okay? 18.230, 18.400, very easy there. That's all I got for you, right? That's all I have. That's all the information I could gather. So I really can't make up anything else here, right? That's about all I could get. 18.4 and 18.230. You got your 50, you got your 20. Okay? You could try the longs off the lows. You could try the shorts off the highs. If you want to try to scalp this range, it's possible. And there's definitely opportunity if you understand what you're doing, right? If you understand that as you come into the trading day, you are not shorting and panic shorting into lows. You are not longing because the market's going higher. You are pretty much doing the exact opposite. You are looking for shorts as the market moves higher, and you're looking for longs as the market moves lower. That is how you trade in a channel. So if you want to do that, make sure you understand your levels. Make sure you trust those levels and understand the channel high, channel low. If you just want to wait this out and you don't feel like getting interested inside of this channel, then wait for the breaks of either side. QQQ. Same exact thing here. If we go to the 1 hour chart, you guys can see we've been sitting in between some pretty key levels here on the Qs. Demand looks to be, call it 440. You could call it 449.50. I think you could safely put it at 439.50. That's sort of where those wicks came in yesterday. So yesterday we had that 439.50 demand, held very nicely all day. We had that 443 supply above, and that is your channel, right? That is your channel. So 443, 439.50. I would want a break and hold over 443. I would want a break and hold below 439.50 for continuation. Until then, be careful of the channel high, channel low. ES getting close, right? ES getting a little bit close to that breakout move. So we'll see if we get it today. Hey, I don't mind, right? If it comes a day early, I'll take it. So you got the 5270, 5270, 5270. Yesterday we had 5270 rejections early morning. If we go to the 15-minute chart, you guys can see that yesterday. Nice 5270. Yesterday morning, 5270. And today, hey, we're getting pretty damn close here, right? So let's see, right? Do we get a little 5270 hold today? Do we actually get some action before CPI today? Maybe. So we're going to watch that 5270, right? Let's keep an eye on that level. If we do reject this again in this pre-market, we'll probably sort of retrace, and we'd likely retrace back down to that 5250, 5247, 5250 area. That is where the ES held yesterday. If we move under that, 5235, okay? Let's go out to the hourly chart once again. Let me show you why 5235, 5250. Well, 5235, like we talked about yesterday, is that CPI low. All right, we talked about, hey, we have that CPI low at 5235, and it continues to hold pretty well. So I could definitely see, this 5235 resulting in some upside if we can maintain it. But as of right now, it's too much of an indecision move, too much sideways action to really be, saying, hey, I'm long off 5235 and I'm taking big size. That's a little bit difficult right now just because of that 5270 above and the possibility of a rejection here like we saw yesterday. So if we get above 5270, I'd say you move up into that 5285, maybe up back into that 5300. That's possibly a sort of a level that the ES is looking for. But you need something solid over this 70 before we start thinking about that. So we need something solid over 70. If we can get it, really see and maintain something like this, right? You want to see this type of low, this holding here, right? You want to see that holding come up. Instead of it being here at 5250, you want it right here above 5270. If you could get this triple bottom intraday above 5270, then that's a great potential opportunity, right, for more upside. So let's wait to see something solid above that 70. We have to be careful of these morning rejections, right? What have we seen that does not quite hold up? Usually we've been seeing gap ups in the pre-market that sort of get given back. So you got another little, move higher here in the pre-market. We have to be careful of us sort of pulling back off that big move pre-market. 5270, 5250, same exact concepts as the NASDAQ. SPY, 1 hour chart. What did we talk about yesterday on the SPY? And this was the one thing that saved me yesterday and actually made me profitable yesterday. There was one concept yesterday that kept me profitable. What was it? Someone should know it. I'll wait and I'll ask for some likes in the meantime. Press that like button. Rangers take the cup, man. I'd wish. I would be so happy. Rangers are steamrolling people, man. They are fully steamrolling every team. Here we go. So, do not short into the daily 20 on the SPY. I don't care how much you think there's a short. Don't do it. Don't do it. And yesterday again proved that is the case. Okay, look at yesterday. 20, right? Just the perfect low a day. Do not short into the daily 20 SMA. It is not worth your time. Okay, it's not worth the sweat. It's been a very key level. It has continued. It showed you, right? If you can't look at this chart and you can't accept it, right? I didn't accept it last week. I shorted into this 20 last week. What happened to me last week, guys? I lost 10 grand. Okay, so I learned the hard way, and I definitely have learned my lesson. And sometimes it takes a little bit of a smack in the face to really trust it. And so, what here tells me that anything is going to change? Nothing. Right here, daily 20. Right here, daily 20. Right here, daily 20. Right here, daily 20. Daily 20. Yesterday, daily 20. It continues to battle off this level. Every time it taps it, obviously, the one outlier was the sort of flush that we got on Thursday of last week. So what will I do today? I will definitely not be shorting into this level. I'll tell you that. So there will be no shorts for me into that 518, 517 zone. That's for sure, right? We've definitely seen that demand step up yesterday at 518. We've seen that daily 20 hold up at 518. No interest, right? Really no interest. So as long as you're above that 20 for me, I will not be looking to aggressively short intraday. You can see, look at that again today at the exact 518 level and a squeeze higher in the pre-market. So watch out for that. That's big, very major there. Do not be getting short biased into that level. To the upside, I think you're looking at 521, guys. 521 is really, I think, the level that needs to break. Could be like 520.40, but I think 521 is the level. You can see right here, 521, 521, a little bit of 521 here. So I'd be careful on longs as the SPY approaches 521 today. Okay, you can see it push. 521 could reject. You could come right back down to that 518. Okay, if you're going to short today, right? If you have any interest in shorting today, you need to be shorting on a move that is extended over demand, right? So hopefully this makes sense to you. I mean, this is just a quick lesson, right? If you are going to short in a range, you need to have risk reward. You need to have margin on your idea. Your idea needs to have at least a little bit of a area that it could come back down to before a demand steps up. So if you are looking to enter a short today and you're too close to that 518, don't do it, right? You don't have enough risk reward. I would say, is there a possibility of a rejection at 521 today? Is there enough risk reward, enough meat on the bones for a short at 521? Maybe back into that 518? Yeah, sure, right? If you want to trade that, if you want to trade that type of that channel there, sure. Look for the 521 to reject. You have enough meat on the bones here. You got about, what, $3 that you could try to short the SPY within. So that's where you could get interested. But when I say don't short into the 20 SMA, it's when the market's moving straight down, right? This is when the normal trader, the inexperienced trader, the sort of newer trader, when are they looking to short here, right? When is your mind telling you to short the market? Your mind and everything in your human being tells you to short the market here, and here. Okay, this is when people start asking to short. This is when I see, guys, I don't say this to be, a dick. I say this to show you guys the tendencies of traders because I see it all day. All right, I see it all day. I run a community. I witness the tendencies of newer traders. Newer traders will only ask me to short whether they should short here and here. Okay, this is when the questions start popping in, right? Should I short, right? Should I short the SPY? This is when the questions start popping in. After the market has already come down for the last half an hour, after the market has dropped aggressively over the last, let's say, 10 minutes. This is when you start thinking you should short the market. This is the exact wrong time to short the market. This is the exact opposite time to be looking for shorts into the demands that we have. Okay? If you're going to try to short a range, you need to be looking to short into the highs and on the pops into supply. Okay? You need to be looking to long as all the retail traders, all the new traders are looking to short. That's when you're looking to long off the 20 SMA, right? When everyone's getting horned up, looking for shorts, and you say, no, right? I know I got demand below, right? I'm actually looking for longs off this level. That is a channel trade. Now, of course, at some point in the future, there is going to be a day that this channel breaks, right? There's going to be a day that this channel breaks. And this is the problem with channel trading that you need to be aware of. At some point, you may look to long that 518 and, hey, this is the time it's going to break down, and you get stuck in the breakdown, right? And then you'll have to stop out. Or, hey, it could be, okay, we're at 521. I'm going to look for that short again. Maybe this is the time, though. There's always going to be that one time where, nope, we're not rejecting 521. This is the breakout, okay? That's the one thing you have to be aware of when you channel trade. There's always going to be that one trade that if you continue to trade these channels, there's going to be one of those days where it actually doesn't respect the channel and it breaks out or breaks down. That's when you have to just accept that, hey, this is the breakdown or breakout. I have to take my loss here. I've been trading this channel for the last few days. It's been great, but this time around, it looks like we're actually getting the move above, all right? So let's continue. Press that damn like button. 4-hour chart. Russell holding pretty well, right? You can see right here, holding pretty well. 2070. I got nothing for you here, guys. It's pretty much just a channel between 2070 and 2130, and you're just dancing in the middle. You're just doing a big dance here. I got nothing for you here in the Russell. If you're going to try to long the Russell, I'd want to pull back to 2070. If you're going to try to short the Russell, I'd want this thing up to 2130. Those are the only two areas I'd look to play the Russell. If it's not at 2130, if it's not at 2070, I would not be involved in trading the Russell. Okay? Dow Jones, you guys can see right here. It's pretty much still lining up with structure, right? You're still under that 39.7. You're still under that 50 SMA. So I'd watch for that as a rejection point still. If you get above that 50, above that 39.7, that's where you could look for the longs again, up into that 39.7 here. Sorry, I meant 39.370. 39.370, right, in the 50 SMA. Careful there. If you get above it, that's where you could look for longs into that 39.7. And if you drop into the 38.880, right, this could be the hold level, okay? Very clear. Daniel Jones, Mike Jones, Indiana Jones here. Very clear. 39.370, 38.880, and 39.7. All right. That's the futures. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get into some stocks. So, sort of interesting on Tesla, guys. I'm not going to lie. I still like I will be honest, okay, because I told you guys this previously. I still really like my share purchases. I bought about 250 shares of Tesla at 173. This is where I purchased a pretty major dip buy for my SEP IRA, which is either money that goes to the IRS or money that goes into a stock. Okay, so I said I'm not going to give it to the IRS. I'm going to put it into Tesla. So Tesla, I'm still sort of interested in whether this is a strong consolidation, right? And if Tesla can get over this 180, this is where I would get a little bit interested, right, for more upside opportunity. I don't mind. I don't mind after yesterday's defense, right? Because I saw a pretty strong defense yesterday on Tesla. I don't mind this area. And I'm going to continue to monitor here. As long as Tesla continues to show a defense, right, above this 160, above, this sort of general low around 160, could be something interesting to watch, right? And eventually Tesla is going to sort of fight off this, just sort of pig with a makeup type move, right? This is what we've been calling it. This is a pig with makeup because you've gotten days where Tesla looks pretty and then it just sort of dies off, right? This is what it's been doing. But I think for Tesla to really find something, you have to wait till it's over 180. Until it's as long as it's under this 180 and under this sort of 50 SMA, I think it continues to stay relatively weak. But if you can get above these lows, right, and above these highs on Tesla, I think that's when Tesla can really start to find something, and I'd be a little bit more interested above that 180 area. So, going to be just investing here, guys. That's really my game plan. I am not trading Tesla on an intraday. I am not playing options on Tesla. I have zero interest on it. I have no intentions of trying to time this. I have no intentions of trying to trade in this channel here. My intentions now, which maybe it will pay off for me later in my life, is to focus on the long term. And so I'm just going to pop in some shares down here, and that will be my game plan and how I approach Tesla down at these levels. That's it. Okay. Nvidia. So what did we talk about yesterday on Nvidia? The 890, 892 rejection. Man, was that a beauty again. So you guys can see right here, we had these previous lows on Nvidia around that 890, 892. We popped into it yesterday, and what a beautiful rejection that was right in the morning. I mean, a perfect fade right off that level yesterday. That was very, very pretty. Shorts are not interesting today for me on Nvidia. You are too close to the channel lows, right? Your risk reward is gone on the downside, right? That's just not interesting anymore. Your 850 is not a level I will be shorting into. This is quite possibly the worst level to short into on the entire market. One, because Nvidia is a strong, strong name. And yes, it has been pulling back, but I would say it's not going to just give up 850 that easily. So I would be very careful shorting Nvidia as you approach 850. This is definitely an interest of mine to see if there's some kind of a long here. The problem is taking a long now is just sort of irrational because there's really no confirmation of a long at this point. You still have a very clear downtrending move, right? You can see right here, Nvidia has been pretty much just downtrending this entire time, making lower highs and lower lows. And so I'm really not interested in, trying to front run this because you have way too much uncertainty tomorrow, right? What is tomorrow? You have CPI. So you may say, hey, I love Nvidia off 850, right? But then if CPI, comes in tomorrow and it drops that market, yeah, it's not going to look good, right? It's not going to look good. So no matter how much you like 850, no matter how much you like that demand down below on Nvidia, CPI could smack you in the face. Okay, you might like that Nvidia 850. You might say, hey, I'm getting a really good long here. If CPI comes out tomorrow, inflation's higher, market no likey, yeah, it's not going to hold 850, right? So that's the concern you have here. I'd be very careful. So if that news comes out, 850 is under pressure. That's something to watch. But today, I'd be careful shorting into that 850. If you do get that move down lower, I'd be shocked, very shocked, if Nvidia breaks 850 before a major catalyst. Okay, so 850, big level below, above 890. I don't like a whole hell of a lot here, guys, to be honest, right? I really don't like that we're just sitting between a 40-point range on Nvidia, right? This is your range on Nvidia. You are stuck between 890 supply and 850 demand, and you are just sitting right in the middle of it, okay? Just not somewhere that I'm going to be trying to, go balls to the wall on Nvidia. If Nvidia pops into 890 and rejects, I'll look for shorts here. If Nvidia drops today off the open towards that 850, I'll look for longs around that 850 for a little scalp. But not going to be something I'm getting all worked up on inside of yesterday's range, inside of this channel, right? Just not something that's interesting to me. And I couldn't even give you some short-term levels here. Maybe this little Friday low right? What is this Friday open? Friday's open is, or Friday's low. Friday's open is 868. Friday's low is 860. Yeah, I mean, it's just not there, right? There's nothing clean. I don't like to try to make levels out of nothing. There's nothing here. There's nothing here that really gives me confidence. So the only two levels that give me confidence is this and this. Besides that, this is the twilight zone. You have entered the twilight zone. So wait for one of those levels to hit. For me personally, that's what I'll be watching. You can maybe watch these yesterday's lows, right? 868. You could possibly try to scalp something off the previous day low around that 868 right here, right? You can maybe look for that today. Maybe there's some kind of an opportunity off that 868 today, right? See if we sort of wick and hold above the previous day low. There's a possibility there, right? That's definitely something you could watch. 865, yeah. I mean, there's definitely some of these levels, 865 pre-market lows. So you could watch those two today. I'd say watch previous day lows, watch pre-market lows this morning, 865, 868. Those are probably two levels you could try to see a pop off of if the market is strong. But again, this is not strong levels here. These are just sort of short-term levels. And when I'm trading off those types of levels that are just sort of day over day, it's less confident than I would be if I'm trading off a major 4-hour supply or major 4-hour demand. All right. TSM. You guys know we were looking at this one. You know, we were all over it. You guys know that. So TSM 143, what a level. What a beauty. Beautiful hold above that 143. Boom, 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 boom. Yesterday held above that 143. This morning gapping up off that 143. What a beautiful level that is. So you guys can see we held that very nicely. Now we're up into the big kahuna level. That's the 147. Okay, 147 is the big rejection point above. Now there's a problem here. Okay, there's a sense of uneasy here. What is the sense of uneasy? I do not like how TSM has gapped up personally. I do not like that. That means to me that you could gap fill, right? I would prefer if TSM did not gap up. There is still a possibility now of the gap fill, right? Back to 143. So if we can get back to 143, right, that would be a sick opportunity to try to long this again. If we do gap fill, you have that 147 supply, which is possible, right? And possibly TSM just doesn't want to get above it. And you are at risk of gap fill, okay? That is the problem with longing this today. You could watch previous day highs at 146 for maybe a potential long, maybe a little bull flag here, right? Little bull flag action off the previous day high at 146. That is possible. But if you break under that 146, I think you're looking at gap fill, right? So careful at that 147. That's a big level above. 146 is a possible hold. If you break that 146, be aware of this, right? Be aware of that. Yeah, I'm sort of interested in ARM myself, guys. I'm not going to lie. This is sort of sneaky here. This is one of those sneaky boys. Sort of interesting, right? You got your weekly chart here, which is a little bit of a one of those little descending triangles, right? A little bit of that. And you got a pretty nice defense here off the 120 level. So this is this is interesting for a little pop, I would say. A little desk pop. So you got this like 120 down here that's been pretty rock solid, right? This has been a pretty rock solid level on ARM. You can very clearly see that. And this is possibly a big accumulation on ARM, right? A lot of share purchasing, a lot of accumulation of the stock. It's been maintaining above that 120 very well. Sort of interesting, right? If you do take a long here, then you know, hey, I'm just going to stay long until 120 breaks. That's very clear. And I'm going to wait to see if this thing wants to continue. Some levels to be watching above. I would say you are coming off that 50 SMA, which is nice, off that 120. some of these previous rejection points were around like this. It's not perfect. It's definitely not a perfect area. I'd say it's like the 132.70 is definitely one level to watch here. If I zoom in, you can see right here, 132.70. Is it 132? 132. Trying to line these up the best I can. I'm looking to the left, right? You can see right here, 132. Maybe just, you see, it's not perfect. I think we play 132. 132, 132, 132, 132, 132. A couple of fake outs above 132 here, 132 here, 132 here, and sort of 132 right here. So yeah, I'd say 132 looks to be your first level of concern. Okay, so I'd wait to see if we can get above that. Nice little curl here, right? You can see right here a little curling action off that 120. If you can get above that 132, you might get a little bit more squeeze here. Maybe up into that 140s, right? 140s, maybe even, best case scenario, up into that channel high. So, interesting risk-reward trade, okay? Very interesting risk-reward trade. Not something that is the cleanest of stocks. Not something that is the most trustworthy of stocks. That's for damn sure, right? This is not a trustworthy stock at all. But is it a risk-reward potential trade? Is it a channel low to channel high trade? Yeah, very possible, right? Channel low, channel high, channel high, channel low, channel low, channel high. That's what it's been doing. You can see right here, right? Consolidation right here, back to the upside, channel low, channel high. So it's possible. MU, good pullback yesterday. I don't really like how MU failed, so I don't have interest in longing this one anymore. I do not like this. This is not good. Right? It's not good that a stock fails the entire move, gives back everything. So don't really like that on MU. I probably will look for a pop and fade at 126 today. I'm actually going to set an alert there right now. At or above, I'm going to put it 125.50. If MU pops into 125.50, 126, I'm going to look for that fade today. Let's go to, where do we want to go? We want to go to AMD. AMD, still one that I'm watching for fades at 173, 175, right? I'll be watching to see if AMD does this. This is without a doubt a very heavy level above. Let's go at or above 172.50. If we get up into that, sort of 173 supply level, I'll look to see if that's a fade. That is a previous low here. You can see right here, previous lows, 173, 173. Does that reject 173? If it gets above 173, you're moving into 175, 175, okay? 173, 175. Those are your two levels to watch there. Things I would be watching on AMD. Yeah, Google is a silent killer, man. Google has been a beast lately. And I have not really watched it as much as I should have. All right, that's for sure. Google's been a silent killer here. This thing held so well at that 150 on Friday. We got above the 153, right? We held above it yesterday. We got above the 155, held above it yesterday. And now we're above the 157, right? So this thing has been a dream of a stair step higher. Look at this, right? That's a beautiful upside move on Google and a strong outperformance versus market. This is hot, right? This is hot. Google's hot. Googie. Goog me. If you guys are part of the chat, you know that. Goog me. Very strong, right, on Google here. So 157, that's what you're looking for today. If we can get a pullback to 157, look for that long, right? Look for this to just hold this trend. Look for a trend hold here. Look for a pullback to 157. If you can get a long off 157, that's a great potential entry point there, guys. Look for a hold above these previous highs. Maybe 157, maybe even call it like 156.70, right? Maybe it's 156.70 right in there. So I'd look for that pullback towards that 157 and look to see if that holds. That is a very interesting play there today. Googie. Meta. No Diddy. Meta is sort of interesting for rejections here, actually, depending on market, of course. But look at this, right? Previous highs on Meta, previous lows on Meta, previous lows on Meta, previous lows on Meta. Look at what Meta is doing this morning at 523. So If Meta rejects 523, this could be a fade and possibly a pullback down to our demand at 515. So I'd be watching 523 on Meta to fade. I'd be watching that 515 demand. If Meta gets over 523, then it returns the glory, okay? Do not short Meta if it's holding over 523. But right now, you are seeing a pretty nice looking rejection right at some major previous lows and this high from back here. This is interesting. 523 Meta. Watch that. Microsoft, I got nothing for you. I mean, it's just been completely sideways, but it's sideways and strong. So I would say it looks more likely to be a consolidation for more upside. Right? That's sort of what it looks to be because it's not a weak consolidation. This is a strong 20 SMA hold, a strong consolidation. Looks strong, but just way too sideways for me to get interested. CrowdStrike is something that I'll probably get stopped out on today. I had a little bit of a short idea here for a gap fill, but markets look a little strong, so I'll probably get stopped out of this one. 50 SMA is above, something I was watching for rejections, but looks pretty strong in the pre-market, and I will stop out on that. I want to see it stay under 517. I'd like to see it stay under these previous lows, see how it turned it into highs, right? Previous lows into double top highs, right? So I looked for a little continuation short here, but looks like markets are a little bit strong this morning. I'll be watching 317 today. See what happens there. Guys, if you just took the second out of your day, right, and looked at Goog versus Google, all right, you see Goog, you understand. You're not understanding you got to understand the analysis. Hey, why did Desi say 150? Why did Desi say look for a pullback to 156.70, right? What was the reason he's looking for a pullback to 157? Well, if you were watching, right, we were looking at these previous highs from last week, right here. See these previous highs from last week? See that? You have previous highs here. You have highs here. You have a high here. So we were saying, hey, let's look for a pullback. Why am I looking for a pullback? Because that's a pre-test of previous week's highs, right? So, okay, let me go ahead and pop into Google real quick. And let me take a look at this chart. Well, where were previous week's highs? Hey, look at that. Right there, right? Right around that 155.50, 155 area. Okay, so that would make sense, right? This is the same thing. I technically don't need to ask about Google because I can just see it's the exact same chart. And I'm looking for a pullback to 155.50, right? Makes a lot of sense there, guys. Pay attention. All right. What else? Netflix, not a fan. Haven't really been a fan. Just so sloppy in my eyes. So not really a fan of Netflix here. Apple, little popper on Apple here. Little popper. 170 continues to be the main level. All right. Oh, coin. Yes, coin. All right. Yes, I like coin. So, 260. Okay, 260. Yesterday, beautiful fade. We talked about this 260, right? We talked about this 260. 260, 260, right? Very nice. Very clean. Let's watch this again because I'm sort of interested. Of course, if the market's strong, I'm not going to be shorting coin. Okay, that's number one. But if we see some weakness on the market, and if we see, Bitcoin dropped a little bit, we'll have to keep an eye on Bitcoin. I would say Bitcoin's probably not going to drop if it's above that 20, though. Right? Look at this. Looks like it's got some pretty nice support in that 69,000 area. 20 SMA, some previous highs, previous lows, right? That looks like a pretty solid support there on Bitcoin. So am I that interested? I'm not going to salivate to take shorts today on it. But I definitely will be watching to see what happens at this 260 again. If Coinbase pops into that 260 again, I might look for that fade again. So I'll be watching that 260. You still have this gap fill down here that needs to get filled down into like that 240 area. So this is interesting for a 260 fade back into channel lows. But if Bitcoin's strong, if market's strong, if market's maintaining, I don't think you're going to get it today. So something to watch. 260. Let's keep an eye on that rejection on Coinbase. Dell has been a runner, yeah. Let's see. Where's it at? I mean, it's definitely time for a pullback. I'll tell you that. Look how extended it is past the 20. What's like this low that it's formed over the last few days? $125? Yeah. I would say if Dell gets under 125, you might have some juice. Let's put an alert there, actually. Create alert. At or below 125.10. So we get an alert. I'd say watch that. Under 125 on Dell. You might have this little downside move in you. No. 170 Apple. Snow. Really nothing. Nothing on Snow. A&F was dropping the other day. It hasn't dropped enough yet. A&F is sort of interesting. It's been getting a little interesting. All right. That's all I got. Back to the futures. Back to the future. Where you at? Channel high supply, 20 SMA supply. This is the exact level that rejected yesterday. You could see this reject again today. 18,400 NASDAQ. QQQ 443. Very, very easy to read there. SPY 421. Very nice. Very easy. And ES 5270. Easy channel highs to watch today, guys. Just watch the channel highs that have been formed over the last 3 trading days. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Enjoyed today's live stream. If you guys did, please press that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want to stay tuned for more. We do this every day starting at 8 a.m. unless I am traveling. Unless I'm hitting up some new spots. We are here. And actually, you know what? Sometimes we're actually here while I travel, which is sort of fun. So press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Be safe out there. CPI is tomorrow. Do not swing trade your entire account today. Okay? If you needed someone to tell you not to do that today, I'll be your guy. Do not swing trade your entire trading account into CPI. Go outside, have a beer, relax. Okay? You don't need to do that. There's plenty more opportunities. The market opens every day of the week. All right? I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.